Alright guys, welcome back to the video. Today we're going to work on Keith's car again. Gonna get the exhaust situated today and stuff like that and see what we can do as far as button up the top of the engine. And look at this guy coming in here. He's coming in hot. He's coming in hot. Wow, there he is. That's the man right there. Yep, so we got Lance Keith over here on the bike.
I got my coffee and my water.
Oh, yeah, man. You're good to go.
Yeah.
So I was just telling about what we're gonna do on the Mustang today.
Oh yeah, we gotta get a game plan.
Yep.
I'm over being nervous.
Yeah. So I was thinking, you know, we could button up the top half of it, stuff like that.
I say finish the supercharger, get everything torqued to spec. We got to go back and do the spark plugs.
Yep.
Because we only kind of hand tighten those in, and we got to get that last bolt on that valve cover.
Yep.
And then I don't know. Let's see where we're at, but the headers definitely seem like those are going to be the part that we did not expect.
Well, we saw a video saying you have to remove the engine mounts, and we got a stand to support the engines. We can remove the engine mounts, and you got to remove the, you know, this coupler here, right, Keith?
Yeah, keep everything. Yeah. We saw two videos, right? One said lock the wheel, the other said mark the spline on the what knuckle there.
Yeah.
And we'll probably just do both. Be safe.
And this side, you got to take the starter out.
Yep.
Which is going to be fun right here.
And then you identified a problem back here that we're going to have to address.
Yep.
The headers are not going to.
And this is 2-inch pipe from the factory with the cat. It goes into down to a 2-inch, and then we're gonna have to cut this somewhere along the way to adapt it to a 3-inch. Yeah,
this is an aftermarket exhaust. It's an X pipe, and basically just straight pipe the whole way back the rest of the way. And you always like those funky little J hooks, I think they're called.
Yeah, the mufflers, yeah.
But it's made by Solo Performance. I think they're up by like Buffalo, Canada area, something like that.
Yep.
And I don't know, it's been fun. I've had it on it since like the first year I bought it, and it sounds good.
And it's super loud. Like when you guys heard us start up on the last video, at the beginning of the last video, it was just like, it was like deafening, like it's ridiculous. And Keith tells me that these things adjust to...
For drone, but I've never had to adjust them. They were perfect, and I had a warranty issue. One of the welds broke, remember?
Yep, we fixed that.
We fixed it for a minute, but they sent me a whole new pipe, and they were awesome about it. They were really good again.
Yeah, I mean, this exhaust is definitely unique. I've never seen something like that comes off and like just goes around.
When I was searching YouTube videos back then, I remember this one on video just sounded the best out of them all. You know?
Yeah.
I think it does. I don't hear many Mustangs that sound like this one.
Yeah, but once we get those headers on here and the full 3-inch, you're gonna need earplugs to drive around this thing. So, all right, guys, but we're gonna lower the car down and see what we gotta do today about buttoning up the top end, and just go from there.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
All right, boys, we're back. What do you got there, Keith?
Oh, I got a wiring harness for the intercooler.
Little relay on there?
Yeah.
All kinds of fun stuff. Wow, look at that.
And we only need, right now, we only need this wire.
Which is the...
ground.
That's for the flux capacitor, right?
We need to hit 88 miles an hour.
That might be a problem in this car. It's a Ford.
All right.
Only kidding. But yeah, we got some fancy wiring going on here. The bolts over there. Just pull it up. There you go. And yeah, we got all the... A lot of plumbing was done with the...
heater hoses.
Heater hoses and stuff.
And the factory coolant hoses we shorted up, and an overflow hose we shorted up.
Yep, shorted that one up, and a couple other ones too. So watch out for that.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah, we're getting into it now. We'll give you guys an update as we get a little bit further along. All right, guys, we're back. We got all of the idler pulleys together and the tensioner, right, Keith?
And the tensioner. So all the pulleys that need to be assembled are on the car.
Right. So.
Except for the water pump pulley, which we're going to put on right now.
Right, that's coming on next. That's the last one.
That's the last one.
That's right. That one's going on now. Keith's handling that. And then it's time to break for lunch.
Then we gotta get some lunch, and Richie has no idea what we're eating. So
No. This is going to be a game time decision, I think.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy's all thumbs, ladies and gents. So, we're going to break for lunch. And then what's the next in the process here? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't read ahead because I don't want to get excited.
Right, well, we're going to figure out one way or the other. I think next we should put the supercharger on. And then just start it up and take it out and stand on it.
First thing.
First thing.
Before we even get the tune.
Yeah, no injectors, no tune, just start it up. So, Keith's got that thing squared away, I think.
So far, I mean, the instructions have... I finally understand what everyone was saying about them not being entirely clear. You know, like this bracket is obviously an updated bracket from Whipple, and it's cast. So the instructions for the original bracket had spacers that you had to put in there yourself. So, I mean, overall, I think it's things like that that add time to the project because you know you're trying to interpret what's said here and it doesn't look exactly right.
Yep.
So, you know, you just got to have some patience with.
Look at the numbers on that thing, like for to dial it. See that?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I guess that's going to be like the amount of tension that's
right.
on
The
it,
tension's on it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And like in the instructions called for standoffs, which are like he said, they're like cast into this bracket now. There's no need for standoffs.
And you were saying that was like Bill's Miata, right?
Bill's Miata had standoffs on it. Yeah. So.
But I mean, listen, I'm feeling good. I mean, we're, you know, halfway through the 55 pages.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think it starts to get a little bit easier from here. I mean, you and I are both kind of commenting on like just the mess that we have here with all the wires and stuff. Like, you know, we're just gonna have to go back and clear that up.
No, there's you got there's some button up to do and stuff like that.
This seems too long. Like we might have to.
Well, that's what it called for. It's so strange.
They wanted it between the 5 and the 6 cylinder, but
yeah, they said to cut the factory tube, which is this one. I mean, there's a couple in here now, which is like right here, but they said to cut it like right here. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, right. It wasn't far off. Right there. And then the tube just seems like long, like for some reason. Like I don't know. We could always revisit that.
This goes to the degas canister that's right here.
Yep.
And then I think this goes to the top.
Top of it, yeah. So, like I said, you know, the instructions, you know, they're not as bad as the Flying Miata install kit, but
No. I mean,
like you said, like in some steps, it shows this thing facing right, and then it shows it facing left, and then like, step 25 will have the supercharger on, and then step 27 will be off, and step 28 will be on. It's like, you know, a lot of stuff's in like reverse order and scattered about. So, but
yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can really do about that. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory if you have a general knowledge of cars. Like, you know, you work on cars a lot more than I do. I just know this stuff from selling car parts for all these years. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I've turned a few wrenches, but nothing crazy like this.
Yep.
And you know, so you know, it's definitely been good to have somebody with you that knows a little bit more.
Yeah, of course, always.
What's going on.
So, but all the tensioners are on, like, you know, I'm sorry, not the tensioners, but the idlers and stuff like that. The one down there, a lot of them called for, you know, torquing them down to certain numbers and, you know, all kinds of fun stuff.
And so far, the only hiccup that I think we've had that doesn't seem to have been in the box so far is they had those fancy clamps.
Right.
For those that are like shark, I don't know what they are, shark clamps.
Shark clamps, yeah. And then I was telling Keith this whole time that the instructions called for like remounting this hose. Like you should have waited on that until you got all the idlers on. Because this thing, you see me fighting with it. It's like it's just in the way. Like it's always in the way now.
When you're trying to torque something.
Yeah, like I had to try and like torque that bolt back there. It was just like it was a pain to get to because, you know, I would recommend if anybody does this, leave this hose off to the very end, you know, last step as opposed to what they say because it's just in the way constantly now. Yeah. Like you have to put all these pulleys on and it's just the hose in the way. You know, so. Yeah.
But I think, I think we're going to get to the injectors and get the.
We're going to have the supercharger mounted today. Yeah. Yep. And look at this nice new. What's that? The Dead Man you got over there? What's that? The exhaust. Well, fucking. This is for the.
It's my donation to the auto repair facility that we have going on.
That's an inside joke. Should we tell them about the inside joke?
Yeah, I think it's appropriate.
All right. Well, here's what happened. Let me tell you guys. I got a letter in the mail. Actually, some guy showed up at my house, and he worked for the town. And apparently, one of my nice new neighbors that moved in recently.
We don't know who.
We don't know who, but they went to the town and told the town that I'm running an automotive repair facility.
Correct. Out
of my house.
Yeah.
Which is not the case. I work a regular 40-hour-a-week job, and you know we do this on Sundays, like you guys know.
It's for fun, man. It's like I'm a neighbor, I'm a friend.
Right.
Like anybody that I've ever seen here is a friend of yours who's helping out. You know, Richie is one of the nicest guys I know. You know, like when it comes to this kind of stuff, he'll help you, you know, in any way you can. I'm constantly coming over and asking to use the lift, whether it's for the Cadillac or whether it's for this. You know?
Yeah, but somebody went out of their way
and made a complaint, and I mean, obviously the guy came and talked to Richie and can see that is not the case. Right. That's not what we're doing here.
I got a letter in the mail like a couple days later, like I told you. It said it was dismissed. So.
Yeah, so it's all good. But I mean, he's just got as much tools as a shop. Like
they see the tire machine is covered in shit, you know. It's like, but but somebody had to go out of their way to go to the town and tell them that, you know, this is an automotive repair facility, which is not the case. And you know.
So we're gonna put a sign out front that says auto repair jobs for free.
That's right.
If we don't charge a
no,
fee,
the sign says not an auto repair shop.
Oh yeah, right.
But
we'll work for a fee.
For a fee, right. So even in the last video, like me and Keith were commenting, we were having jokes in the last video. You guys might have heard me say, what did I say in the last video? I was like, he said something about a 40-hour-a-week job. I was like, well, you know, that and the automotive repair shop we have going here, something like that. You guys, if you go back, you'll hear it in the video, but. It's just funny that people have nothing better to do with their lives than, you know, try to, you know, stir up trouble and, you know, stuff like that.
So all we're doing is trying to have fun.
Right.
You know, we don't blast music. We're not revving engines.
Yeah, we're going to turn the TV on, for Christ's sake. You know, it's like, you know, the TV's never on. We're just, you know, when we work on cars, just me and Keith are just, you know.
Whoever's here.
Wrenching me, Keith, Bill, you know. Lou's going to stop by later. He's coming over to hang out for a bit. You guys see Lou in the video. That guy's a regular over here. Yeah, I mean, this is where we're at. We're going to stop for lunch now. I usually don't stop for lunch ever, but I'm
fat and he needs to eat.
If I see him eating, I want to eat. So, so we're gonna stop for lunch now. We're just gonna, you know, do what we gotta do, and we'll come back to you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, a little update here. There's a gas. We had to take off the lid, which is over there by Bill's foot there. This was the lid. This is the intercooler here, from what I'm told. And this is, we gotta take the lid off in order to get to these bolts to bolt it to the head. All 6 bolts. And then this is how it turns. You know, just like that. That's how it goes. We put the fluid in already, Supercharger oil. And yeah, we're gonna put that lid back on once we find the bolts. Next, we're gonna bolt this to the heads, like I said, and then see how it goes and just go from there. So we'll get back to it. All right, Keith, where are we at?
Oh, man.
Got Lou over here.
We got the whole belt assembly on.
Yep, everything in front here.
And thank God we had 8 hands.
That's right.
Because if we didn't have 8 hands, we wouldn't be getting this belt on right now.
No, we would not have.
And thank God Bill brought the muscle. Yeah. We debated having whether or not to take off the intercooler cap on top of the supercharger, but we realized we had no choice because that's where the supercharger mounts to the block.
Yep. You gotta put the bolts through on each part of the head to bolt it down over here and over here.
And Richie followed all the directions on what pattern and what foot-pounds.
You forced me to.
Pounds, as I keep saying. And where else are we at, Richie? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we had a couple. What were our snags along the way while we were getting this part?
We forgot to tighten the alternator.
We got to tighten the alternator. We had that only hand tighten. Did not help the belt very much.
But the instructions also didn't mention to reinstall the alternator, you know?
That's correct. Well, we remember we had to take that off for the oil pump gears, and I don't think normally you would take that off.
Right.
So,
right.
But the other important thing to note is depending on what year kit you get, this bracket that we talked about a little earlier is cast, and in the instructions there are 2 bolts. But the bracket that they sent only has 1 bolt. So again, another example where you're spending 10 minutes trying to decide if you are supposed to have 2 bolts or not, and there's only 1 bolt there, so clearly you can't have 2 bolts.
Exactly.
So just again, one of those things where.
And then we had to use the numbers on here to bring it to what, 80 you said?
Well, that was a little confusing, but they said they wanted it all the way back to 80%. I think that's what they're talking about. I'm not 100% sure, but.
And that's the belt tension.
I mean, it's got a lot of tension on it. I think we're good. We bought an upgraded pulley. We didn't use the pulley that Whipple
That makes
had.
a difference up, right?
So it's 1 size smaller, an extra pound to boost, and it's grip tech, so it's supposedly one of the best in the market, right? So hopefully, you know, with that and everything else we got going on, you know, we're working.
Now, what's next, the lid, or what are we doing?
No, we're gonna start doing the fuel rails.
Okay.
We're gonna get the injectors in.
Injectors in, all right.
And I don't know where the lid goes back on. At some point.
Just leave it off.
Just leave it off. Throw water down there.
Well, like ITBs instead of a fucking supercharger, you know. But that's where we're at. We're gonna move forwards now and put the lid on, find the gasket, whatever box is, you know, whatever box Keith is hiding that in. Put the big old injectors in and just move forwards and just go on from there. But that looks kind of close, doesn't it?
It
Cross
does
that
look
bridge when we get there.
I'm wondering if this is eliminated, but I didn't have a block off for it. So
Right. We don't know.
we don't know.
But we're gonna cross that bridge, so back to work. Keith, it's been a while. Lou, what do you think, Lou?
Man, it's looking good.
I think this thing is looking good, man.
We had to take a little break and walk away for a few minutes.
It was beautiful outside today.
Beautiful
Look,
out.
do you see how beautiful it was? Beautiful
We
outside.
went and enjoyed the sun for about 10 minutes, came back and...
We went and got oil on a filter for the Evo.
Oh yeah, we did that, got some
Yep.
lunch.
Got some lunch. Yep.
And came back and been moving really along. Gotten a lot of the PVC, a lot of fuel hoses in. I'm over here busy looking for install the 8 supplied rubber feet to the fan mount bosses, and Richie's over here ripping off pieces and showing these.
Look at that hole. That's the GoPro going inside the hole. Look. The GoPro is in there. That's out of control.
It's crazy.
The GoPro fits in there.
So I stopped looking for these 8 feet to enjoy that.
The GoPro's in there.
Got a lot of air.
Well, here we go. The birth canal. That's something. That's out of control.
That's crazy, bro.
It's out of control. Tell them something. I mean,
I'm listening.
you know.
I want to keep working. I want to hear this thing run.
We're not far off.
No, we're not too far off. We're plugging things back in, trying to get wiring harnesses put back in place. You know, the fuel system is really the big thing we got to do before we even try to start it.
Look at that pulley connected to that shaft in there that turns those blades. That's something else. This guy here turns that guy there. This is out of control. Look, send you guys in here. Wow, that's doing it.
It's doing it, man.
Yeah, but we're cooking right along. All kinds of things and such hooked up. Fuel rails are on. We gotta get this.
We're having less and less loose hoses.
Right. It's getting better and better.
It's getting better and better.
So, but not much left to do today. We end the video soon, and we'll get back to you guys. All right, guys. What we're doing now is we're gonna install this. What size throttle body?
I think it's 135.
135 millimeter throttle body onto the Supercharger, which is honestly ridiculous. And this is just a test fit because I believe I'm missing the gasket that goes with it.
I got the gasket.
The gasket's got to be right here somewhere. Let me break these bolts out of this package.
I got you.
Grab a razor or something. Let's say, hang on, guys. Grab this razor right here. Slice it like that. There's a gasket right there. All right, I'm gonna throw these guys on as a test fit. Got three short bolts and one long bolt, which I don't know why, but I'm gonna check it out right now. Obviously, clearly the long bolt goes here, up on the bottom end. Slide this over, like so. Keith is going nuts looking for something.
Oh man, I can't find this.
Slide this thing on. See how it looks? I should have brought the Allen key over. Forgot. All right, hang on.
I'm just going without it in a minute.
I don't want to drop the hardware. Let me go over here and grab the Allen key. Where it is. Of course, the one I need is missing. But yeah. So you guys can see, this is the throttle body, which is absolutely huge. 102. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. But look at that. I mean, the amount of air that could fit in here is like, get my whole hand in there. So, it's a little bit silly, Keith. I gotta tell you.
Pretty silly. Should I put it on the right side?
I'm trying to find the Allen key that goes for this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll try to fast
Can't
forward
find
to
it.
this.
So,
I'll
all right,
fast
guys, we're
forward.
gonna throw this on, and we'll get back to you in 2 minutes.
It's not a game, sir.
All right, guys, we got where we want to be today. We put the what's this part called, Keith?
Oh, the intercooler.
Intercooler.
Exchange.
Yeah, heat exchanger. Yep.
We decided to call it a night because
It got dark out.
in backwards.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 180 that
Yeah,
way.
this lower hose is supposed to be on the other side.
Yeah.
So
That's how you know you had enough beer and it got dark.
and it's time. Yeah. So but otherwise, I mean, you can, superchargers in, belt is on. I mean, we're just out to these coolant hoses and start buckling some more stuff up.
That's gonna be it.
Get to the exhaust.
Next is the exhaust. Probably next week. We'll finish up the front end. Get rid of these, get rid of the exhaust manifolds, and do some welding and some more fun stuff. And then the fuel system.
Yeah, fuel system too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's supposed to be pretty plug and play. I mean, I know we got to find one fuse, which, I don't know, whatever, we have to figure that out.
Yep.
And maybe a couple wires, but
Other than that, yeah, we're getting there. This is a lengthy process.
lengthy process. But not as bad as putting in the Hellcat engine in 300.
I wouldn't go that far. That was fucking plug and play. All right, guys. We'll catch you next week, and be sure to subscribe, share with your friends. All the normal happy horse shit. So, catch you guys next time.